with Kale and still can't figure out what the problem might be. Maybe she's in a better mood now. Let's go check on...
Ah, it's you two. I was just about to go look for you.
هو كان يدور عليهم بشوفهم.
Tighnari, what are you doing here? Where's Kale?
بتحكي له شو بتسوي هون؟ وين كولي؟ انت اللي شو بتسوي هون يا بايمون وش هو؟
I came to check on Kale's condition. To put it simply, she's not well.
بس هي مش بحالة كويسة.
You mean she's sick? How could she
هي
be?
مريضة.
Oh, wait a minute.
يكون من اللي
Could it be
عملته.
because of what Paimon did yesterday?
اللي أنا عملته امبارح. أكيد.
No need to worry.
No need خلص.
Something as small as you could never harm her. This sickness is something that Kale has been dealing with for some time. Kale has been more excited than usual since you two arrived. A little too much so, to be honest. She hasn't remembered to take care of herself.
إنه هي كأنه لفترة ما شافت حدا أو إنه ما بتتواصل مع حدا بس إنه أو إنه كأنها إنه بطلت نسيت إنه تعتني في حالها.
I suppose it's understandable, though. She hasn't been around anyone she considered a friend for some time now. It must have been refreshing for her to have you two here.
So, Tighnari, what's really wrong with Kale?
طب إنه شو مشكلتها؟
Let's take this conversation elsewhere. Kale just fell asleep after taking her medicine. She needs some peace and quiet.
أوكي هون بحكي له إنه شو رأيكم نحكي في مكان ثاني لأنه هي هسه نامت وبدها محتاجة لبعض الراحة يعني.
All right, let's continue our conversation here, shall we? To be honest, I hadn't realized that you're that honorary knight from Mondstadt until Kale told me just now. I've also heard all about your deeds in Liyue and Inazuma.
اوكي هو هسه هون بحكي له انه انا ما كنت بتوقع انه انت الفارس او ايوه الفارس اللي من مونستاد وسمعت عن الاشياء اللي عملتها في ليوي وإنازوما.
So, just to clarify, what I'm about to tell you about Kale is not because of who you are or your past feats. Instead, well, because Kale asked me
هي اللي
to.
حكت له على اللي صار.
And honestly speaking, I was against Kale revealing her past to you. But she insisted, saying you two treated her with sincerity and as a friend.
So, Tighnari, what exactly is wrong with Kale? You said this is something she's been dealing with for some time. Just how serious is it?
Right. Ever since she was a child, she's been afflicted with a disease called Elazar.
Elazar?
Yes, it's a disease unique to the lands of Sumeru. It is characterized by dark and hardened scales that form on the body.
اوكي هسه هي كولي طلبت منه انه يحكي لهم شو المرض اللي هي اصيبت فيه وهو مرض نادر في منطقة سوميرو بيصيب يعني اشخاص قليلين بسبب مناطق داكنة بالجسم.
At first, the afflicted may only feel mild numbness on the affected area of the skin. However, as the disease progresses, one may begin feeling fatigued and even experience peripheral paresthesia. In its final stages, the disease strips a person of the ability to control their own body, and they effectively become completely immobile.
That sounds terrifying.
اوكي بحكي لهم انه المرض اول اشي بصير زي مناطق داكنة بعدين بصير يحس بتنمل بالجسم بعدين بصير غير قادر على الحركة يعني اذا حدا اعتقد بصيبها وبلمسها فهون هي بتحكي انه اشي غريب يعني او انه اشي مخيف.
Wait, hold on. So when Kale seemed to be acting a little clumsy earlier, it was because...
Correct. That would be the effects of Elazar, which is
Okay,
precisely
والمرض
why I do not want her carrying or
بسموه
holding
إليزار.
anything, lest
مرض
she
اسمه
ends up
إليزار.
hurting herself. With appropriate treatment, the disease can be effectively controlled before it progresses to a more serious stage. However, there is unfortunately still no true cure for Elazar. Nevertheless, Kale's mother still hoped that there was something out there. She handed Kale over to an organization known as the Fatui after one of their members lied and said they had a cure.
اوكي. المرض اللي هي انصابت فيه ما كان يعني ما له علاج، ما فيش له علاج، وهو هذا الاشي اللي بخليهوش انه يحاول يقترب منها او يلمسها. ف احد منظمات الفتوي احد اعضائها كذب على امها، لان امها كانت تعمل انه تتامل انه تلاقي له علاج لكولي، تلاقي العلاج لكولي، لكن احد اعضاء المنظمه هاي انا اسف عشان بقطع عشان بحاول انه اوصل لكم الفكره، انه احد اعضاء المنظمه هاي كذب على ام كولي وودوها للعلاج هناك.
What? The Fatui?
Ah, it appears you are already familiar with them. That'll save me some explanation. Anyway, the person who eventually rescued Kale and brought her to me for care said that she had been given to a harbinger known as the Doctor. I have no idea how this doctor managed to do it, but her case of Elazar was completely stable for all the years that Kale was with them. However, Kale's days with the Fatui were anything but pleasant. Kale is a resilient individual and always tries to appear cheerful, but her experience with the Fatui has left deep scars. Even now, she can still feel deathly afraid of someone touching her.
Oh, Paimon had no idea Kale's been through so much suffering.
اوكي، هو انا بحكي انه كانت حالة كولي مستقرة، وفي طبيب هناك بضله مبتهج او بضله مضحك او بضله اشي زي هيك، يعني اعتقد هذا اللي شفناه في المانجا. فهو مستغرب ايش الاشي اللي كان يعطيها اياه، انه بتضلها حالتها مستقرة بالطريقة هاي.
Oh, by the way, Paimon, Kale wanted me to tell you that she's sorry for scaring you yesterday. She also wanted both of you to know that she's sorry for hiding her illness.
She doesn't need to apologize.
Well said. I hope you'll get a chance to tell her that in person the next time you see her.
اوكي، هنا بحكي ان هي طلبت منه، كولي طلبت من تايناري انه يعتذر لهم على اللي صار معها امبارح، وانها خبت عنهم مرضها. فبتحكي لها هون انه هي مش محتاجه، انه يعني بايمون حكت لها انه هي مش محتاجه انها تتاسف.
Kale once thought that it would be impossible for her to have any real friendships. I trust that you two will never let my trainee experience such emotional pain again.
Don't worry, Tainari. We'll take good care of...
Well, it's not too serious at this point. She overexerted herself the last couple of days, which is what led to her breakdown this time. As long as she has taken her medicine and gets plenty of rest, she should get better. Though, I must admit that Kale's condition was much more stable when she first arrived here in Gandharvaville.
اوكي، هنا بحكي انه هي الفترة الماضية تعبت كثير، او انه ارهقت حالها كثير بالعمل، اشي زي هيك، وانه هو بحكي انه هي كانت حالتها اول ما وصلت منطقة سوميرو كانت كثير مستقرة. ايوه.
She was interested in the work of the forest rangers the moment she saw us. I could see that she was serious about learning. Her stamina has gotten much worse recently. Though a moderate amount of physical exercise is always necessary, I'm afraid the long-distance patrols are a little too much for her now. All right. Now that I've told you about Kale's past, I think I'll head into the rainforest to find some ingredients needed for her medicine. I'll see you two later.
اوكي، هو بحكي لهم انه هو كأنه صار يخاف عليها كثير من انها تطلع على تحمي المناطق اللي في سوميرو عشان ما تتعب كثير، وانه طلب منهم انه يروحوا يجيبوا لها
Yeah, we'd like to do something to help Kale too.
يدلهم على مكان الدواء عشان يجيبوا لها اياه.
All right, but I must warn you two. The rainforest is a dangerous place, especially for someone who's still recovering like the traveler. You must follow closely and listen to every instruction.
No problemo.
اوكي، هسه هو هون بحكي لهم انه بحذرهم من منطقة اسمها الغابة الممطرة، اشي زي هيك، وانه بدهم هسه يطلعوا يدوروا على يجيبوا الدواء.
Let's go then. We'll be looking for a plant known as lunar lotus. It's often used to help those afflicted with Elazar recover their...
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Tainari? Where exactly are we going to find this plant?
Lunar lotus can be found all over the rainforest, but it often grows right here around Gandharvaville.
Given the name, it sounds like we should be looking for it in the water.
You are correct. Lunar lotus grows in the water. When fully mature, they look like giant blue flowers floating on the water's surface. Quite an attractive species, if you ask me. The large petals are actually the plant's leaves and sepals, which surround a very small flower. You should note that many of the plants found in Sumeru have names that are contrary to their species. Take the kalpalata, for example. The plant is not a lotus at all, but rather a vine. And then there's the Sumeru rose, which is not a rose, completely contrary to its name.
Oh, huh. Okay then. No, goodbye. Never bring up the topic of flowers with kindness.
في مجال أعرف أن المنطقة فوق ولا تحت؟ لا تحت. صحيح. الله علي الله.
There should be lunar lotuses growing somewhere in this area. Let's split up and begin searching. If you could manage to gather 4 of them, that would be sufficient. We'll rendezvous here once you've gathered the needed amount.
اوكي هون بحكي له انه بده الزهرة بتنمو في هاي المنطقة، لازم تكون في هاي المنطقة، فبدنا ننفصل عشان ندور، وبكفي انك تجيب منها 4 حبات. اوكي هذه اعتقد. ايوه
All right, we've gathered enough lunar lotuses. Let's head back to meet Tainari. Hey
هلا شي
Tainari,
بشاو
we found the
إنه
lotuses
بس
you
يضرب الضربة
requested.
هاي بيقربك على المكان اللي بدك تروح.
Let me take a look. Good, very good. These are all excellent quality.
انه يعني الكواليتي تاعها عالي.
I'm quite glad you two came along. Your exploration experience helped save me a lot of time here. It seems we even have enough time to stock up on some other things I need.
Hey, Tainari!
Oh, Tainari, someone's calling your name. They're dressed like a forest ranger.
Ah yes, that's Amir and the others. But didn't they
That's
just
Amir.
set off
هذا
not too
اللي
long
نادى عليه
ago?
اعتقد انه اسمه امير.
What are they doing back so early?
اسامي عربية. في الهيثم.
Let's go find out what's going on.
نروح نشوف شو الطابق.
Tainari, thank goodness we found you here. We were just about to head back and find you at Gandharvaville.
What's going on?
اوكي بحكي له هون انه شكرا لنا لقيناك، و كنا بدنا نرجع على المنطقة اللي حكى هسه نسيته، ندور عليك.
We just discovered a withering zone.
فما بحكي له انه لقينا منطقة زي ذابلة.
The withering is back? But the patrol route you were on should have been already clear just a week ago.
منطقة الذبول انه
Reappeared
رجعت،
so quickly.
بس انه كأنه احنا نظفناها قبل اسبوع وشي زي هيك، بس انه رجعت بسرعة كأنه.
Can you tell me the exact location?
انه احكي لي وين المكان.
It's up ahead, deep in the river valley. It's appeared in a spot that blocks nearly the entire narrow part of the valley area, so we decided to come find you as quickly as possible.
And the radius of the contamination?
Sorry, I couldn't get a clear enough view to tell.
No one in our patrol team had a vision, and
إنه
it
فيش حدا
appeared to
عنده
still be
الفيجن أو
spreading, so we
الرؤية
didn't risk getting any closer.
المناسب للإشي هاد.
Okay, I understand. You made the right decision. I'll go deal with it right away. In the meantime, please guide these two
إنه زي
back to
إنه أخذت
Gandharvaville.
القرار الصح وهيك.
Wait, Tainari,
إنك جيت حكيت له
why
على
don't
طول.
you let us help you?
تفضلوا هاي بتحكي له إنه إحنا بنقدر نساعدك. على طول حشرت حالها.
You two have only just arrived in Sumeru. You're still unfamiliar with many things in these lands. There's a unique type of anomaly that occurs in the Sumeru rainforest. It's called the withering.
اوكي انه بحكي له هون انه انت يعني لساتك جديد على المنطقه، ما بتعرف عنها اشي او شيء زي هيك، وانه في منطقه انه منطقه سوميرو بصير فيها كثير مناطق ذبول، فانت ما بتعرف عنها اشي. او انه بيطلقوا عليها انه اسم مناطق الذبول.
The affected areas not only cause nearby vegetation to wither, but it's also lethal to wildlife and even people. If you don't carry a vision, then you should think twice before approaching such places.
اوكي هون بحكي له انه المناطق البرية هاي اذا ما كان عندك رؤية كويسة لهاي الاشياء ممكن الاشي يعني المناطق الذابلة اذا ما كان عندك رؤية لها كويسة فكر قبل ما تروح لهذاك المكان او فكر كأنه مرتين قبل ما تروح لهذا المكان لانه ما بتقتل بس الحياة البرية فهي بتقتل الاشخاص كمان.
Yes, Amir is absolutely right. I wasn't kidding when I said the rainforest is a dangerous place.
صحيح بقول له انه حكى لك الاشي الصح او حكى الاشي الصح وانه المكان كثير خطر.
As Amir said, only someone with a vision, that is, the power to manipulate elements, will be able to resist the withering's corrosive effects for a time.
That's right. If any of the forest rangers without a vision come across a withering zone, we first make a record of the location and then have a ranger with the proper abilities deal with it, like Tainari here.
اوكي انه بيقدروش يعني يتعاملوا مع هذا الاشي الا اذا كان حدا عنده رؤية فانه هذا الاشي خطر يعني انه مش خطر يعني انه بحكي له انه فيش حدا بيقدر يتعامل مع هذا الاشي الا اذا حدا بيمتلك الفيجن او اللي هو القوة يعني هاي او الرؤية هاي. والفيجن اعتقد اللي هو النبات اللي هو هسه معنا يعني لونه اخضر الضوي.
Only someone with a vision can venture within a withering zone and find a way to deal with it. But you don't seem to carry a vision.
Anyway, since you two are experienced adventurers, come with me.
اوكي انه هون حكولوا انه احنا كيف بدي احكي لكم رح نعرفك تعال معي بتقدر تصاحبني يعني تروح معي على المكان وبنعرفك على الاشي هذا والشائعات اللي بتطلع عنك في شكلها حقيقية انه الشائعات اللي سمعها عنك هي اللي كان القصص اللي كان يعملها في نزومة وليو وهيك.
You ready then? Let's go. First, we must locate any branches sustaining the withering zone.
Stabilize! Order guide you!
لازم اخذ
Solidify! Stabilize!
Great work. Now that all the branches have been cleared, we'll need to take care of the tumor.
Gather!
Propagate! Forest! Inazuma shines eternal! Ha!
لازم اقاتل هذول يعني.
Stabilize!
Now, destroy the tumors of the withering.
اوكي دقيقة بس ناخذ الاشياء الزاكية. طيب يا اخوان هيك لليوم نكون وصلنا لنهاية الحلقة. اعتقد انه راح اقطع الفيديو اكثر من حلقة علشان ما يكونش طويل. فاذا عجبكم الفيديو وعجبكم الطريقة يعني نترجم لكم القصة عشان تكونوا فاهمين اللي بتلعبوا. في ناس ما بتكون عارفة.
The damned will sooner die again than lay a hand on me.
دعمونا باللايك والاشتراك وان شاء الله ما كنت طولت عليكم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.